Before we begin, take a moment to notice something simple. You are aware that you are aware. Not the thoughts moving through your mind, not the sounds around you, but the quiet fact of being present. That alone is already mysterious. And yet it raises a question most of us rarely ask. Why does awareness feel located here? Why does it feel limited to a body, a name, a lifetime? Tonight, we're not exploring consciousness as a problem to solve, but as something to experience more clearly. And to do that, we need to ask something quietly radical. What if consciousness needs limits in order to know itself at all? Imagine awareness without boundaries. No inside, no outside, no time, no contrast. Just an endless, undifferentiated field of knowing. In such a state, nothing would stand out. No experience could arise because experience depends on difference. Sound requires silence. Light requires darkness. Movement requires stillness. And meaning requires limits. Without edges, there is nothing to notice. So, perhaps the first mystery of consciousness is not that it exists, but that it appears divided. Cosmology tells us that for billions of years the universe existed without eyes to see it. Stars formed, galaxies collided, light travelled vast distances, but there was no one there to notice. No beauty, no wonder, no question, only process. And then, somewhere, somehow, matter organised itself into something astonishing, a structure capable of reflection, a nervous system, a mind, a place where the universe could pause and look back at itself. Not all at once, not completely, but from one point of view. We tend to think of limitation as a problem. The body ages, memory fades, perspective is narrow. But what if limitation is not a mistake? What if it is the condition for experience? A camera cannot capture an image without a frame. A story cannot exist without a beginning and an end. And consciousness, if it is truly infinite, may need temporary boundaries in order to feel like something at all. You are not awareness trapped in a body. You may be awareness focusing itself. Consider the body. It filters reality. You see only a narrow band of light. Hear only a limited range of sound. Feel a small slice of what is possible. This filtering is not accidental. It creates a coherent world. Without it, experience would overwhelm itself. The body does not generate consciousness. It shapes it, like a lens shapes light. Different lenses, different worlds. A bat's reality is not yours. A whale's sense of space is not human. Each conscious form is a specific angle from which the universe experiences itself. If consciousness were fully aware of itself at all times, experience would collapse into unity, no individuality, no story, no discovery. So, something extraordinary seems to happen. Awareness forgets itself just enough. It adopts a perspective, a name, a history, a sense of me and not me. This forgetting is not failure. It is the beginning of experience. Just as an actor must forget they are acting to play a role convincingly. Think about moments when the sense of self loosens. Deep meditation, creative flow, intense love, near-death experiences. People describe the same thing again and again. I wasn't gone, but I wasn't limited anymore. What disappears is not awareness. What disappears is the boundary. And yet, when the boundary returns, experience becomes possible again. Contrast re-enters. Meaning reforms. Pain requires contrast. Joy requires loss. Wonder requires mystery. If everything were known, nothing would matter. If awareness were complete, there would be no curiosity. So perhaps the universe does not seek completion. Perhaps it seeks experience. And experience demands limitation. Spiritual traditions often speak of awakening as remembering. But notice something subtle. When people awaken, they don't stop living. They don't dissolve permanently. They return. Why? Because complete remembering would end the game. Limits are not meant to be destroyed. They are meant to be seen through lightly, known, but still played. Think of consciousness not as a thing, but as a process, a loop. Awareness limits itself, experiences through that limit, then subtly reflects on the experience, learning without ever reaching finality. If consciousness fully understood itself, the story would end. So it doesn't. It fragments, localizes, forgets, and in forgetting, it creates meaning. If consciousness needs limits to experience itself, then your perspective is not accidental. Your specific fears, your particular joys, your unique questions, they are ways reality experiences itself from here. Not better than others, not worse, just different. And difference is the engine of experience. This perspective offers something subtle but profound. You are not failing at awakening because you still feel human. You are not broken because you still struggle. Limits are not something to escape. They are something to inhabit consciously, to live fully, while knowing you are more than the role. Perhaps the universe does not want to wake up all at once. Perhaps it wants to wake up slowly, through billions of perspectives, across endless forms, each one limited, each one sincere, each one necessary. So the next time you feel constrained by your body, your circumstances, or your uncertainty, consider this. Without limits, there would be no experience. Without experience, there would be no meaning. And without meaning, awareness would have nothing to know. You are not a fragment trying to become whole. You may be wholeness temporarily choosing a point of view. Sit for a moment with this thought. What if consciousness is not trying to escape limits, but using them? What if your life is not a prison, but a lens? And what if awareness right now is quietly learning what it feels like to be you? Not forever, just long enough to experience something it otherwise could not. If this reflection resonated with you, you don't need to do anything, just notice. That noticing itself may be consciousness recognizing one of its own limits and smiling gently through it.